I think that actors, you have to trust them. You know, some directors, they have the script, and in the script, your sister has died. So they come to you and they tell you, so in this scene, your sister has died. It's like, I've read the scene. Like I can read. That's not what's going to help me. What's going to help me is firstly, my own ideas of the scene, but also what is the journey that we're going to go on so that the scene can become the thing that makes sense for everybody. So I try to cast right, and in this process, Ego and I went through, trying to find the right guy, because also actors are accustomed to the blanket of dialogue. We all like dialogue. Everybody wants to talk. And suddenly when you don't have to talk, it's a whole other thing, because the camera doesn't lie, and it requires you to think deeper. So I've been blessed with the actors who are happy to go on that journey, because not all actors are interested in that kind of thing, and that's fine. But I'm saying you need people who trust you. I mean, yeah. So for me as an actor, that's what I think. I like to work with people who are intelligent and have emotional intelligence. And in that emotional intelligence, let your imagination meet my imagination, and let's see what we can do in the scene.
Where's this film going now? How are you planning for as many people as possible to see this film?
I think that's a question for Ego.
It's actually a question for Ego.
But I do want to say something I forgot to say. Two things. So while there was a person who said he didn't get it, there was another guy who said he thought it was stunning, so just to say that. but also, you all in this room are the first people to see this film on the continent. I mean, Ugoma was talking about it took 2 years to get here. We were still tweaking yesterday morning in Johannesburg. So the version of the film that played in Philadelphia at the Black Star Film Festival, where we won an award. We won the Audience Award for Best Experimental Film. That version of the film, the people who saw that version of the film haven't seen this version of the film. So their memories of the film are going to be different. And it's really special that we're able to share with you the final version of the film on the continent, in Lagos, home of Ego, where the idea was birthed.
Please put your hands together for Akin and for Ego and their team. It's now out to the audience. Do you have a question? Do you have a comment? Please just raise your hand and we'll have the mic come to you.
So I just think this is a wonderful movie. I really enjoyed it. I had a great time watching it. And I just wanted to understand what was the process, what went into taking some kind of, what do I call it, an intangible aspect of our lives, like some kind of memory stroke, an experience stroke, leaving something behind. What went into that? What was the thought behind that? And what did you wanted to sell, or what did you want to sell to the audience that watched this movie? Because I have my own interpretation of it.
Thank you for the question. I think your interpretation of it is good. It's important. The film came to us, I have to acknowledge the writer and the editor as well, another Nigerian in the diaspora, Branwen Okpako. And she had told me this story about a woman who was out of a divorce and met this guy, had a good time, then wanted to continue, only to discover, the sort of complication. And when I pitched the story to Ego and when we were talking about it, we just liked the idea of what do you remember about loved ones? What do you remember about an experience? I'm a very nostalgic person. I spend a lot of time thinking, that person, this person. So what is the memory, what is memory about love and memory about experience? So that actually in the film, that whole thing in Zanzibar, like that was a great time. And when you move away from one place, you know, there may be somebody here tonight who's on their first date. And then they leave here and they have a fight. Sorry. And when they think back on this night, what do they remember? What will they remember? So just that idea of like, and very rarely do we see introspection and silence. That actually a lot of us spend a lot of our time in silence. And the communication with the texting and everything, yeah, so in a way it was to explore that. But not to be so conscious about it and not to be didactic about it. Like I said, I hope those who enjoy the film is that at some point your own memory takes over. And not that you leave the film, but that you're participating in this idea of, well, what do I remember about love? And what do I remember about a special time I spent, in this case in Zanzibar, with this guy who woke up in my bed, etc., etc.
Yeah, right
Thank
there.
you. All right.
Sharp.
My name is Shaibu. Akin, congratulations.
Thank you.
But I think much of the applause should go to Ego, because
Yes.
for someone to put her money, knowing from where she was coming from, all the keeping faiths and all that, all those, and then she's doing something very arty, something very deep, then I think the whole of the applause should go to her. But I want to find out, was it because you wanted to keep the crew, you know, low? That's why you decided to act in the film? And no, you did a good job. You did a good job of,
Thank you.
of the acting. And then the second part of that question is that, is it that you didn't find someone who could do that like deeply, like you did? I mean, yeah, you did very well, but I wanted to just find out, you know, why you you decided to take up the lead role in the film. You didn't act in Via, you didn't act in Man on Ground. Yeah, you didn't act in Man on Ground and all those films that demand, you know, all that, but you decided to do it yourself. And then how much is the budget for this film?
So my takeaway from your question is you won't be casting me anytime soon. I don't know what the budget was, but I think it wasn't about trying to find somebody else or there was nobody else or trying to keep the crew down. It was about, yeah, experience. It was just about if you're going to, I don't even think we've actually thought about why I'm in the film. I don't know why I'm in the film. I'm definitely not the lead character. It was just a way in which we could keep the experience going. You can't ask people to do something that you yourself are not going to participate in. And at the same time, I act as well.
That seems the simple answer, actually. He is an actor, and I think he does a great job. Any other questions, comments? Right on the other side.
My name is Nii. It's a great movie, even though I don't understand a lot of it. But I think it's a great movie.
Well, that's good. That's good. That's a good place to start.
Well,
I didn't understand it, but it's a great movie.
I'd love to see it again. I'm sure it'll be a different experience the second time. But the
Yeah.
question I want to ask is, who was your audience when you were putting this together? Did you make it for market, or did you make it for yourself? Not for yourself, but you get what I mean. What was in your mind? Who was your audience at the time you did it? Because this is not mainstream, from my perspective. So who was your audience, and what's the end game with this? Are you going to go to market with it? Are you going to take it to screen, and all of that? Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like I said, or like we said earlier, it's really important to, like everybody enjoys a range of films, I think what tends to happen too many times is, again, people like to box African films. So, unfortunately, we get into this thing of, is it this, is it that, as opposed to, it's what it is. And that's fine. And this is also fine, because we all sit here and we'll go home very happy to watch Game of Thrones, very happy to watch House of Cards, and nobody goes, is it this, is it that? So for me, the market and what, to your question, I just go, the continent has a lot of stories, and there are a lot of people who want to tell these stories. And hopefully, we have audiences who have appetite for a kaleidoscope of stories.
Okay,
Yes, go
evening.
ahead.
My name is Paul, and I would like to first give my own perspective of this story. So I don't know if any other person here saw it the way I saw it, but I saw the beginning to be the end and the end to be the beginning. Now, it's possible that I'm going cuckoo. It's also possible that I open up myself to a very weird interpretation of the story. But let's assume that we have multiple people like myself here who are able to interpret your story the way I did mine. How does that affect the message you are trying to pass across? So what I'm trying to say in essence is this. There must have been a purpose for this movie, which you are trying to pass across, even if it's objectivity or subjectivity, whatever it is. But I am coming from an angle where I looked at the story and I said, the end is the beginning and the end. Beginning is the end. And my friend went like, I told you to stop taking that weed. Now, how does that affect you as a storyteller, you as a scriptwriter, and the message you're trying to pass across? Is it okay for me to be very subjective about the message you're trying to pass? What effect does that have on the message that you're trying to pass across?
Yeah, I think it's okay for you to have a experience. It doesn't matter. To me, you know, like I say, we get into this very didactic, what was the purpose? Why did you put me through this? And, you know, sometimes it's okay. It's okay to have an experience that has nothing to do with the filmmaker's experience. I think we've spoken about experience a lot. And for me, I hope you had whatever your experience is, I hope it was worthwhile for you. That, for me, is the thing. Not whether what you think the film is what I think the film is. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's okay to watch a film and not understand it. It's okay to watch a film and think about it in 2 weeks' time, hopefully. And it's okay to watch a film that, like ice cream. When you eat ice cream, it's very nice, very nice, very nice. When you finish ice cream, you don't remember the ice cream. And you want some more, hopefully. So we always wanted the film to be an experience. And I think that's key. And I don't think people should deny their experiences, good or bad. And even if it's bad, what does that even mean?
Good evening, everyone. Hi, Willie. Okay. Thank you for coming. I don't know, what else am I? What are the words from the producer? Akin has said everything. The process was what it was. We decided we wanted to make a different kind of film. I read the treatment and I liked it. My mind was somewhere different from, as Shuaibu said, keeping faith and 30 days. And I believe that as a filmmaker or as an artist, we evolve and we have different experiences, and those experiences or where we are at a particular time inform what we then, focus on as our art. And that's where we were. And so when Akin brought this project to me, we were actually working on another project, and we started talking about this one. And I was intrigued, I was interested, and I wanted to do it. And for me, the main thing is, I haven't seen this version. As he said, he was cutting all the way up to yesterday. So every time I see the film, it's changed, and it raises different questions for me. And to me, that is one of the things I wanted people to take away. I wanted us to think. I wanted us to be open. as he said again, we've been fed so many different things. In this industry, and I've been in it for 20 odd years, there's an expectation that we're always going to do certain types of films. I've been there, I've done that, and I want to move away from that. I want films with a different message, or maybe no message, but I just want an experience different from what I have been used to, and that's what this film was for me. So I'm very proud of it. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you loved it. I hope you, I mean, I want you to have felt something. You either love it or you hate it, but feel something. Have a conversation about it. Think about it. Be like, this ego, waiting. Or, this, I don't even know what this is. Oh, wow. Because for me, when I watched it the first time, the feeling, it was in my gut. I cried. So I don't know whether I cried because I hadn't made a film in 8 years. And it was like, oh my God, finally back in the saddle. Or because I was just watching it and the music and the visuals in the film just got me. So I want everybody that sees this film to feel something. And that's just what it is. And that's really it. That was the reason. Thank you.
I also need to say that for us to grow, we need brave producers. Not just brave filmmakers, we need brave producers. And I think what Ego's done, not only to do this film, is actually an investment in expanding the landscape for both filmmakers and for our audiences.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you
she's
just...
been amazing.
Yes.
I can't stress it enough. 13-page treatment, two-man crew, everyone were in Zanzibar. I mean, you're right, we have to be allowed to dream not the box of what people expect the stories to be. We expect it to be X, Y, Z. We expect it to be, where's the banana peel? Where's the this? Where's the that? And not even as a diss. It's that we can tell multiple stories and we should be allowed to enjoy multiple stories. Yep. And most times people back down. They say, ooh, no one is going to understand it, or no one is going to do this, or no one. And she was somebody who was just like, as she said, like, yes, let's go. And the last 2 years of trying to craft the film, because even that in itself was a process. How do you craft the film to get it to a place where you're watching it tonight? And that took a long time. It took a lot of patience on her part, on my part, on everyone's part, to try and get it to a place where it felt right and that we could let go and share.
Amazing. The death of our industry is going to be when we get to a place where we make the same film over and over and over again. So we've absolutely got to take a lesson from this. And thank you very much to the two of you for doing this.
Thank you.
We wanted to have our lead actress say a few words as well.
Mabatu, we just wanted you to say one or two things about the process.
Please welcome her, please.
First time in Lagos, Nigeria.
It really was a great experience. I saw the film for the first time today. I'm very happy that I saw it in Lagos. As an actor and as a director myself, I've always wanted to work in Pan-African stories. I do believe that there's a lot that we can do together as a community in the continent. And maybe if we work together a lot more, even the visas will be easy to get. Because, it's just getting the travel documents shows you that we don't work together as much as we should, and we're not building the camaraderie that we should be building. As for the process, it's a silent film. And in any story, the thing that you look for first is the story. The dialogue is the last thing you do. Even when you're writing a script, the dialogue is the last thing you do. So the process wasn't any different. The first thing I looked for was the story, and to replace the dialogue with something else visually for the story. I enjoyed working with Akin. I enjoyed working with a two-man crew. I'd never seen anything like that before. At some point, I was tempted to jump in, but it really was a beautiful experience. And Ego and Akin said, it is important to stretch ourselves with the kind of stories that we tell. And it's also good that we are asking the questions, why did you do it like this? Who was your market? Because if we have that conversation, then it's not happening in little corners. We can have that kind of conversation, and it will inspire someone, and it will make someone brave. And as an artist, I'm very happy to have been part of a brave move. So thank you for having me, and thank you for being in Lagos.
I just want to thank everyone again. We can't say it enough. Much respect to Lights Camera Africa Film Festival. Hope you enjoy the rest of the films. Thank you for the night, and I wish you all great memories. Thank you.